guys. Okay, so we already started, but let me introduce you.
My government name is Alejandro Garcia, commonly known as Alex.
Alex.
My official title
Right.
is a director of event technology. I realized I think I'm not a hustler.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree.
if you're,
Yeah, I'm not.
if you're like a freelance, whatever, like
Yeah.
you've got to keep,
Pushing for business.
I'm not that guy,
Yeah.
not interested. And then I realized like, I don't want to, like I would love to produce.
Yeah.
I don't want to produce every
Everything.
person that I can
Get to. Yeah.
get to.
You want to produce the kind of people that you want to.
Right.
produce.
Like I have acts and in all fairness, like to get to that point, you have to do
Your share of weddings.
right.
Yeah. In that relevance.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of,
That kind of like killed the plan.
like took a little wind
Mhm.
out of my sail, if you will.
Yes, I like.
You
that.
know?
Yeah.
So that kind of didn't do the thing, but I was still just doing that whenever possible. I would do music stuff, just whatever,
Right.
like still just
Like it was
freelancing,
still in your arsenal.
if you will. Yeah,
But it didn't become your
absolutely.
main thing.
Correct.
Right.
I didn't have a main thing.
You don't have.
You
a
know,
main
it was
thing.
just I was
Jack
just
of all
doing a bunch of,
traits.
which is kind of like the thing. So
Yeah.
this goes into like the next thing. I got a job
Uh-huh.
at Guitar Center.
Okay.
So that was the next
Yeah.
step,
I
right?
remember Guitar Center.
You remember
Alex.
Guitar Center,
Yeah.
right? So this is where kind of like things come together.
Yeah.
In what you just said, people, talk and they go, "What do you do?"
Right.
Oh, well, I play
This
guitar,
and that
I
and
play the
produce.
bass, whatever I do, whatever.
Yeah.
So one of my friends from Guitar Center
Mhm.
probably heard me say this
Multiple
speech
times.
enough,
Mhm.
and he goes, "He's a jack of all trades, master of none."
Oh, he said that to.
He
whoever
said
was
that
asking?
to whoever was asking, which is
Wow.
like a customer or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
jack of all trades, master of
Master
none.
of none.
And I was like, yeah, that's now like, you've got the
Yeah.
Netflix show, Master of None.
Right.
Now it's,
Really good.
whatever this
It's good.
we're talking about
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is jack of all trades, master of none, still better than just a master of one is the complete
That's a
saying.
okay.
I
Jack of all
believe.
trades, master of none. Still better than
Probably
master.
like a semicolon.
Right.
Still better
Right. Still better than master of none.
than a master of one.
Of one. Okay. Because multiple.
Correct.
Somebody's a master of one thing, but you still beat him at. Not beat him. You can do multiple things.
Right.
No
So that I
competition.
think
Yeah.
that's the saying. T-Dog,
Google
double
it.
check me on that.
Google.
Put it down here once you.
Yeah, I'll
once
put the
you-
saying,
right
links, resources.
Yeah.
Taylor-
Bibliography
and,
at the
and,
end.
and a GIF of Taylor. Like
Right.
Yeah.
You got to cite your sources. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Bibliography at the end.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the thing. So I kind of like took that.
I was gonna say, did you take that saying into like, hey, this kind of defines who I am?
Yeah, like I kind of
Yeah.
felt that way at that moment. I think
Right.
I put it on my Instagram profile, which I think is still
Sweet.
what it says on there.
Oh,
I think
because
that's-
you don't go there a lot.
No,
Yeah, so it's probably haven't changed it.
I haven't.
I'm gonna check. Yeah, I'm gonna
Check
check
it.
that it's. But I remember that being a thing for you.
Yeah, jack of
for a
all
while. Do you
trades.
still
master of
feel
none.
like that still defines you, or do you
Absolutely.
think- Yeah.
Absolutely, because the thing, when you said like, tell us what you do or whatever you said,
Right. You're like what?
like,
donate.
what do you want? No.
Right.
No, it's not that. It's just like Taylor and I were talking about this on the
Yeah.
way over here. It's like, for me, it's very hard to put a title on myself.
Right.
So I'm a director of event technology, not because I've said that I am. That's
That's the title they
like
gave you.
the official title, right?
Right.
So I can confidently tell you that's a fact. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with
Yeah.
that. But I
But-
can't tell you I'm a musician. I can't tell you I'm
Why
an
not?
engineer. I just can't, like, that's too much of a commitment. You know what I mean? Like, at what point do we draw the line?
Right.
Like, I said this to Taylor. I'm a bowl. I like to bowl. Does that make me a bowler? Like, I like to crack
if you're
jokes.
winning if you're winning tournaments, it does.
I won a tournament in bowling.
Hey, so maybe you are a bowler.
I can't tell you that. I don't feel like enough conviction in this
Right.
thing
Yeah.
to tell you I am such and such thing.
But okay, let
Like-
me just break I know I think we've had those conversations where I'm trying to convince you, and we won't, and I won't.
Correct.
But does you thinking you're a good dad change the fact that you're a dad when you have a kid?
Say that again?
You know what I mean?
No.
Like maybe you think like, oh, I'm not the best dad, so am I really a dad? Like if you have a kid, yes, you are.
Well, I mean but see, that's no, because that's a
Right?
specific thing. No, that's a fact.
So what
And
about
that's something I can tell you confidently. I am a dad
okay?
because there's no like
Dude,
I,
every time
I
I'm-
legally cannot get away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Gotcha.
an official
Every,
thing.
every time I get examples about fatherhood, people are like, "Well, it's totally different with kids." I get it. I
No,
get
but
it's different.
because that's a different. Like I can tell you, I own black shoes. Like that's a fact, right?
Okay,
Like these
yeah.
are facts. Like
Right.
I cannot commit to tell you
I'm a musician.
I'm a musician. I can
Okay.
play music, but like, am I dedicated to this craft? No. Like I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the people who do this thing
Okay.
by saying I'm a musician.
I get it.
I don't feel like I am. Like this is what I was saying. I like to crack jokes. Does that make me a comedian?
Yeah, potential for sure.
I have
I
like
get you.
I
Damn.
like
What?
I have the
Yeah.
ability to play ping pong. Like, does that make me a ping? Like,
Probably
I
not.
have the ability to ruin someone's day. Does
Yeah.
that make me a police officer? No, you know what I mean. Like,
Yes, it does.
you know what I'm saying though.
I
Like,
get
at
it,
what point do we draw a line? Like, I like to play video games. Am I a gamer? I don't know. Like,
dude. But I think that's so broad because I don't think you're completely right. Like you're explaining completely right. Like we make coffee, we're not baristas.
correct.
I get, and you can do that through the whole spectrum of what we do.
Right.
But I think that there's certain elements, and I say that because I connect a lot in the whole jack of all trades, master of none. But it's like, am I the best piano player I know? No. Do I consider myself a musician? Yeah. And
And I don't think you're wrong. Like, I
Right.
think you are.
But that's what I'm saying, and I think you are better than me. You know, but
But
it's like,
like-
and you don't. So it's like, yeah, and it's not about comparing to others.
Right.
It's just a mentality of like, I also know how to draw. I know how to do a bunch of
Yeah.
things, and they're not like my main thing. None of them. I don't know. I don't have a thing.
But see, it's
Back
funny.
to
Like
you,
if
you know?
if someone were to ask me about you specifically,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, he's a photographer, videographer. Like I would say these things about you with
Right.
no qualms. I would have no problem saying that about you.
Right.
I can't
Said about you.
say it about me. It feels inauthentic. Maybe I don't
You
know.
think? Yeah.
I just don't feel like I have enough conviction as this whatever to really say like
But that's always
I'm
been
the
just
thing.
your. There's something in your personality that always goes there. Because
perhaps.
one thing, and I mentioned it earlier when we were talking, and I think it was when I first started recording these kind of videos. We were talking, and that was like a year, 2 years ago, and we were talking about having the conversation, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not creative,"
Right.
and I was like, "Bro, like you're one of the most creative people that I know." But
You've said this to me, and I think
Yes.
since then I've considered it. I just don't like.
and you're like, it doesn't start. Like,
No, that's kind of like I have. If anyone asks me
yeah,
if I know any like creative people, or if I were to say,
Yeah.
there are two people that always come to mind, and I know a ton.
a lot.
But if
yeah.
I were to say these people are creatives,
right,
or
Yeah.
whatever, it's you, and it's my friend Britt, who's the singer of the
I
Major
know, yeah,
Minds,
Britt, yeah.
right? So these are two people that I know.
You truly say me?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool.
No,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hope so. If you have this creatives workshop,
Hey, yeah.
you know what I mean.
You would
Like
hope
I
that
hope
I
hope you're the
consider
guy.
myself-
right. Yeah. I hope
Yes,
you're the person
yeah.
that we would say about this. You guys are people that I recognize as individuals who create, like
Right.
just create. Like
Yeah.
that's what you guys do.
Yeah.
And I think about the contrast between both of you and myself because
Mhm.
I've been around both of you extensively, and I kind of like
Yeah.
know
You see the
that
differences.
right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, because I've been around you guys, and the contrast between what you guys do and how you guys do things and the way that I would do things
Right.
in creating.
Yeah.
Because I guess I create.
Yeah.
I have the ability to create things,
Right, for sure.
but I don't.
But you see the
Consider
difference
that-
between a creative and you.
Right. That's
Oh.
that's how I see it, and so
Yeah.
I see the way that you're. I don't want to say see the way that your mind works, but I can
Yeah.
see how things
Yeah.
materialize
Mm-hmm.
when you're creating things.
Right.
Both of you guys, that just to me seem like, well, this is what creativity is.
Oh,
What I do
it's
is
very
like
mathematical.
yes, it's a formula of numbers, and I can make numbers work.
Damn.
You know, I can put it in an Excel sheet and like
Yeah.
make it work somehow.
So,
Like
but-
that's
so basically you could create. I mean, and just using us as an example,
Yeah.
Brid, myself, you think we could all really create the same thing, completely different processes?
I don't think I can create the same things as you guys.
No.
No, I think I'm bound a lot more by parameters.
Okay.
I think I'm bound a lot more by structure.
Okay.
I'm bound more by keeping the microphone close
But wouldn't
and
that
getting
be
the right level.
But
You're
that-
not
No,
bound
but
by
that's,
these
you're still
things.
creating. Or what do you mean that would? What
because
wouldn't
I
happen?
wouldn't get the end product that you would get. Is what I'm saying.
Mm,
Yours is a lot more free. This is the way I see it.
right.
Your product is going to be free,
Okay.
right? Brit, free. Like you guys are just going to create. I'm going to be bound by, well, the microphone's got to be at a certain level.
Right.
It's got to sound a certain way. It's got to,
Look a certain way.
there's a structure
Yeah.
to the way that I need things to fit into whatever
Function.
I think it
Yeah.
is. Like I was telling somebody this the other day. You know, you ever heard people say like, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story?
I haven't heard
You
that,
heard that?
but
It's pretty
but
funny.
I get it. Yeah.
I think like let's not let creativity get in the way of like a good product. You know what I mean? Like
I would say
Like,
backwards.
I know.
Don't let technicality get in the way of a
right,
good product.
I can
you can
see that.
That's so cool.
But I would think
Yeah.
about it the other way. Like we're making a song. Let's not
Don't
let's not
get, don't get
let's
creative.
not get too creative here. You know what I mean? Like I need it to be
Don't do the note if it doesn't go in
if it's not for this thing,
Right.
let's not do that. Like creativity is cool.
yeah,
For me, it's got to fit into
the parameter.
the space. Like there's a space for everything, and everything's got a
Right.
space. You know, or whatever that
Yeah.
saying is. Like there's a place, time and place for
Time and
everything.
place for
You know,
everything.
so
That's so intense.
but that's just my way of creating, and that's why I'm like I don't think I'm creative. I have like.
But
this
can you
house.
have you written music?
Have I written music? I have written music, but like
You created videos.
sure.
What else is creative?
No, I've created these things.
Yeah.
Sure. But I just don't think I don't consider that
Creative.
creativity. Like it's just like I
Mind
just
blown.
put like I know what chords work with other chords. I know
Right.
what tempo works with whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. So it's very technical. It's not creative in your perspective.
right.
So in your perspective, one thing that I like kind of embrace, and that's kind of what I want to have in my conversations is like everybody is creative.
Sure.
In your mind, would you agree or not? No. There's a lot of people
I
who
mean-
are not creative. And I'm not saying like because you're bashing at them, but like in at all. Like no, it's just to understand both sides because
Yeah.
it's really cool. Like what if I think like a chef can be creative.
This is the Ratatouille thing.
Oh no, I haven't seen
I think
Ratatouille.
you've never seen Ratatouille.
I've never seen Ratatouille. I never have. Maybe I'll watch it.
I think the
Thanksgiving.
book title is like everyone's
It's creative.
a chef or something,
Oh,
or
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should watch
Look
it.
it up. Put it
Google
here.
it, Taylor.
But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's
Oh.
something like it's like that's the concept.
The,
Like
the door's
everybody-
the door's locked. He's probably waiting.
Okay, we'll stop on Ratatouille.